Hello, and welcome to Building with Bedhead Fred. Today, as you can obviously tell from the thumbnail, we will be building this tree. The materials you will need for this project are stripped dark oak wood, spruce wood, dark oak stairs, dark oak fences, and dark oak trapdoors, dark oak gates, and dark oak slabs. Then you have your copper grates. Of course, you could use normal leaves, but for the sake of this video, for being unique, we'll use these. Now to start off, you're going to place these 3 blocks. These 3 blocks will determine what your focus point is on your tree. Make sure this open block is where you want your main viewing point to be. You're going to want to tower up around 8 blocks. Once you've done this, we're going to start blocking out what you want the shape of your trunk to be. Now that you have that blocked out, you're going to throw in your trapdoors, your slabs, your stairs, your gates, and fences. If you haven't already, I would really recommend studying the height and depth of each block. It really helps with finding those angles that you're looking for. Looking at other people's creations is a great way to do this. Once you have the base of your tree mapped out a little bit better, you're going to move up the trunk of the tree, making it thicker. You're going to want to keep it from 1 to 3 blocks thick. Now that you've built up the base of your tree a little bit better, you're going to start branching out with your limbs. I personally like adding low-hanging limbs like these. It adds a lot of character to your tree and also a good place to hang a swing. I usually have 5 or 6 main limbs on my trees. Obviously more branches will be sticking out, but those will be added later. Now you're going to start adding those detailing blocks to your main limbs. If you ever feel like your tree isn't round enough, then you might want to add another limb, like I am right now. Once you're happy with the shape of your big limbs, you're going to start branching off with those smaller limbs. You're only going to want to branch out around 5 blocks away from the end of your big limb. Now is your chance to fill in those gaps that you have between your big limbs with these smaller limbs. The more limbs you have behind your leaves, the more realistic it will look. After After that long and painful and tedious process, you'll be starting an even more long and painful, tedious process. Grab your cap or grates, or whatever leaves you may be using, and start spamming them on the ends of every single one of your limbs. Starting off is always the hardest part, but once you get your shapes down, it's really easy to keep on going. If you feel like something isn't looking quite right, it's probably because the tree looks unbalanced because you have more leaves on one side than the other. So go on and move to the top of your tree and work your way down a little bit. So once you reach this point, you're going to realize the top of your tree doesn't look quite right, but we'll get to that in a second. Keep on filling in those gaps, but be sure to leave a couple of slivers of openings, because you don't want your tree to look too blocky and solid. Be sure you're adding some leaves drooping down from the end of the limbs. This will keep it from looking like a savanna tree. Now let's fix this big bald spot you have on top here. Tower up with your fences and branch out where you feel like it's necessary. I like to do this after I place my leaves because it feels less restricting from how far and how close I can place my leaves. Now you could stop here, and I wouldn't blame you at all, but I feel like there's a couple more details I would like to add, such as these leaves. Adding these makes it look like some of the leaves have not completely aged yet. And I'll add some more over here. And as I mentioned before, this is a perfect place to hang a swing. And it's pretty easy to make. All you have to do is get some oak fences and some spruce trapdoors just like this. And now as we add some of the new dead leaves as extra detail, we can look at the finished product. That looks pretty darn good. Wow. I came up with this design, I'd say 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I just love it. It's going to fit well with my vase over there. It's going to be good. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. If you didn't like the video, then that's fine, because I don't really like this video, but it's fine because it's my first video, so you can insult me in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and God bless.